I'm Lindsay Stanislawski. I work for the Alzheimer's Association Northeastern New York chapter. And with me today is one of our rockstar volunteers, Kim Hance.
Lindsay said, I'm Kim Hance, and I am a volunteer with the Alzheimer's Association. I've been a volunteer for probably 25 years. Do legislative work. I have co-chaired the Walk to End Alzheimer's for the last 5 years. And also I work for Herzog Law Firm, and we are a corporate partner with the association. So near and dear to my heart.
So primarily I meet with caregivers in the community who are struggling with a diagnosis of Alzheimer's or any other type of dementia. It's difficult to navigate, wondering where to go, who to call. So I really meet with caregivers to offer the disease education that's needed, support, and any local resources for families who are just diagnosed or who have been on the journey for quite some time. Kim, you do a lot as well.
So as any nonprofit, it can't run without volunteers, right? So a big part of what I do is I help with education programs. Once being a part of the staff of the association, it's easy for me to kind of integrate and understand what is needed. So try to be boots on the ground, active volunteer again with the walk. New this year, we also, from a national level, so we're not just here in the Northeastern New York, Alzheimer's Association is in every state. And we have a national legal leadership council, and I'm co-chairing that this year. So our local roots are now sort of nationwide, and really a big part of that is to get people more involved, to spread the word. A big part of what I do in my job, I'm a social worker, and it's working with families to help them navigate, but to get them to the resources that are available, because so many families don't know. From your age group up, it's really important for people to understand not only about the disease, but what resources are, and that there is help. And a big part of what we do with fundraising is helping people like Lindsay as a program manager right here in Warren, Washington, and Hamilton County as boots on the ground, really to do that one-on-one meeting with families face-to-face. So for anyone who doesn't know, and it seems like everybody does know, John Marcantonio, he is quite a force to be reckoned with. So John started his journey with his mom probably about 10 years ago, maybe?
Yep.
You know, John took it as a personal journey to learn as much as he could, but then he became such a powerful advocate. Just from starting with the walk and really talking to anybody about the disease. You know, over the years, his roles expanded. You know, like I said, I've co-chaired the walk for the last 5 years. John was my co-chair. You know, we were just saying outside, he was like a best friend to everybody. So to know John was to know somebody who genuinely cared, not just about the people around him, but his community. And I think that, you know, just signifies what an impact he had on so many people. I see so many people now that understand and have learned more about Alzheimer's and about the cause because of John. So I think just being able to continue that legacy is so important.
He was unanimously voted into our board of directors as our president at the chapter July 1st of last year. So it was short-lived, but made such an amazing impact. Really funny story that I have about John. We went to a leadership summit in Orlando in Florida together. Him and I went with the Alzheimer's Association chapter in 2017. And those of you that do know John, you know that he could talk to anybody about anything, right? Correct.
The wall,
yes.
You're right, yes.
Yes. On our way home from, we were in the airport and we were checking our luggage, like you have to put it on the scale to weigh, and John almost convinced, and I'm not even, like, he was 95% there. He almost convinced the ticket lady in Orlando, Florida, to sponsor the Queensberry Walk to End Alzheimer's. He was like this close. And that's just what he did. Like, and he was always so sincere and passionate about it, and could talk to anybody. Yeah. So what's unique about the funds that we get from the marathon dance is I go into local schools and educate health classes. So I have done Mrs. Higgins' health class. I think last year it was like 310 students that across like a 2-week period. And teaching is hard. It's a really hard thing to do. That Mrs. Higgins, I give her a lot of credit, but just teaching the students about signs that they may see in their family members, their parents, their grandparents, what is normal aging compared to those red flags that present as Alzheimer's or dementia. We do a fun little virtual dementia tour on a smaller scale with popcorn gloves and glasses that kind of distort the vision a little bit, overstimulation. It's a really great opportunity to give the students a little feel for what it could be like to have dementia. So that's specific funding that we get from you. That's what pays for us going into the schools. We've branched out into Hudson Falls and also Queensberry as well. It's always the best. I know, it's always so wonderful that you all choose us year after year. You know, we're facing quite an epidemic with the numbers skyrocketing with those that have Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. Currently, there's 420,000 people in New York State alone that have a dementia diagnosis, 6.7 million in America. So we're really struggling to let folks know some awareness about the disease, break away from that stigma a little bit. So it's great that we have you all choose us to really bring about that awareness to the disease.
One of my favorite stories is one of a dear friend, she's also a volunteer, but her husband has younger onset diagnosis. So the family started seeing probably signs around 47. And people typically don't think about Alzheimer's in somebody that age. And it was actually his son who was taking a class, and they did an understanding the 10 signs. And he came home and said to his mom, you know, I think Dad might have Alzheimer's. So again, the funding that provides the education from young ages up is so super important. We hear a lot that there are treatments and new treatments on the horizon, and that's very true. But we're also in a time where we have more people aging than we ever had. So the numbers are increasing faster than what we can keep up with. So that's another reason in being able to continue the education in the community, and why it's so important, and why we're so thankful that we still have the opportunity to be able to participate.
So if any of you want to go into neurology, do it.
Please,
because
it's such a needed field.
Yes,
please.
For
or
sure.
Geriatrics, any of that.
Yeah. I would just like to say I'm a very proud alumni to be here. I graduated in 1999. My 2 kids are Bulldogs. They're the ones that didn't wake me up this morning. One's at Oliver Winch and one is at Moreau Elementary. But, it's just, we're so proud to be a part of this every single year. So I just can't thank you all enough for choosing us, and it's appreciated. Go Bulldogs.
Yeah, like this is, I was going to say, go Bulldogs. Have a great dance, and we're just so appreciative.
Go Bulldogs!